Hang on, I think I got a little too much. There we go. Let's get it maybe about right there. So here's old Bigfoot out here. Yeah, I know. You're gonna tear this trash up while I'm gone to feed, so that's what she does. She's just waiting. But I thought today we might just take a little time and kind of show you maybe a normal Saturday for us. Clancy, I've been up since about 5:30 this morning. That's not normal for me. You know, a lot of farmers and ranchers are like early birds, get up and get going, and I'm the kind of the total opposite. I'm a night owl, so I like to hang out at night and I do most of my stuff in the evenings. You know, when I get in from town, and I like to hang out and stay up late and do that kind of stuff. So I got in, I did a bunch of stuff at the cleaners last night till about 1 o'clock and got home. Big plans for stuff to do today, and then I realized, well, Clancy's leaving at 5:45 to go to his second job. He's working with an electrician now on the Saturdays to earn some extra money. Erika and Kylie, Fred, have women's breakfast this morning, so they're going to be gone till 10 or 11 o'clock. So all my help's gone, so it's just me, and I thought, well, that's all right. Well, then last night Erika got sick to her stomach, so all the stuff that she was supposed to make for women's breakfast, I had to get up and make this morning. At about 5:45 is when I started on that. Clancy came in and said, hey, the little car that he's been driving, the old black car, Black Betty, wouldn't crank, so we had to get that going for him. So I'm running a little behind on my own stuff out here, but let's go and just kind of take a walk around and see. See, I told y'all right there. Bigfoot, get on out of there. You ain't got nothing in there for you. You don't need nothing. This is why we call her Bigfoot. If y'all don't know her yet, she's a polydactyl. Is that right? She got extra toes on her front feet. Himaway cat or some mess like that. I don't know. But I don't want that all tore up, Bigfoot, because I got to drive to town. So to keep you from, look, she's already got it right there. I'm going to keep her out of that. I'm just going to set it in the truck. I know, you're aggravating. You're just aggravating. So kind of what I've got on my agenda today is we've got to get Erika's pickup, some stuff finished up on it, because C10's in the park is coming in next weekend, so 7 days from now. So I've got to get it finished up on old Pearl, and I just got a bunch of stuff to do. I need to work on my electric fence stuff. We got to have some. I got to set my other razor grazer up because steers are going places they ain't supposed to be going, and I want to move them and put them on some grass. So we got a lot of stuff going on. My feedlot steers back here, sticking their head through the net wire fence. So we got some welding we need to be doing today. Maybe when Clancy gets here this afternoon, he and I can go throw that stuff up real quick, just enough to keep them from tearing stuff up, maybe the steers. Ooh, I got a better idea. I could just go shred that. That would be a lot quicker. I got some stuff to do on Danny for C10s in the park, and I got some stuff to do on Clancy's pickup if his parts arrive today. So we've got plenty of stuff to do. And I got to run to town first and get feed, and so we can go check cows tomorrow, or I might go this evening. Oh no, we got to get some kind of church singing deal going on tomorrow afternoon at our church, and then we got another musician or something that's coming to town today that Erika wanted to go listen to tonight. I might get out of that because she don't feel good. Not that I don't want to go, it's just I don't have time. I don't want to quit doing what we got to do to go do something else. Does that make sense? So let's first thing we got to do though, let's get some steers fed. Stand up here, guy. And crank the tractor. turn my scales on. Since Clancy left early this morning, I'm going to check his feed bunk. His steers have got plenty of feed. They do need a little bit of beef trait though. Morning and night his get beef trait. And while the tractor's warming up, I'm going to grab my beef trait. Didn't get enough there. So, if you're wondering what this stuff is, check out our other videos on our feedlot steers. It'll give you a good idea of what beef trait is and what we do with it. It's I'm not going to explain that in today's video. Set this in the buggy so it'll be ready when we get back with the tractor. And let's go do some feeding. Excuse me. Alright, so these steers, I've been feeding them about 300 pounds a day each pen, so 600 total. Excuse me. They got about 50 or 60 pounds, so I'm going to go ahead and feed them 300. That's really a little more than they need, but it'll be alright. Scales are on 21.45. We kind of want to run to about 1900. Good enough. Now we need to 21.45 minus 3 would be 28.45. We need to put a little bit more. There we go. know I'm going to get some comments about, man, you ought to put some water in that feed. That's pretty dusty. It's got a little dust in it, but it's mostly just from that ground up hay and a little bit of corn dust. We've been feeding this ration for about 10 years. I've been feeding it for a little over a year and a half out of this mixer. And we've experienced zero health issues from that little bit of dust from feeding. So I'm not going to change it because it ain't broke. This is the worst part, is this blind backing up into the barn right here. You got to get just right on the feeder. If you're too close to it, the chute, the door on the side of the mixer will hit the feed bunk. If you're too far away, the feed falls on the ground. If you're too close, your mixture hits. That's just about right. Give Bub steers about 40 pounds there. We're good to go. Make a recording of that in my phone so we can keep up with what everybody got fed. I keep a running tag, and so does Bub. So, these are his fair project, but like when he leaves at 5:45, that's earlier than we normally feed. So what we do is if, occasionally I'll feed for him, once or twice a month or something like that, just because he's already gone too early, or if he gets in too late from something he's doing, that's just part of it. I mean, you help your kids. It's not about they got to do every bit of it all by themselves. It's about, hey, I'm teaching my kid to be responsible, and part of being responsible is if you're not going to be there to feed your animals on a certain time you ask somebody to help you, and that's what he does. So, I think where that becomes a problem is if a parent or somebody that's hired by a parent is doing way more of the work, or maybe even, not even so much that it's way more. If they're, if you're doing more than probably 20% or 25% of what's going on your kids' fair project, that's probably getting to be too much, especially when they're seniors in high school. When they're little, you got to help them a lot more, but as they age, they need to be responsible and take care of that stuff on their own. But they need to also be able to know that they can ask you, hey, can you, I've got this going on. I'm going to be at this judging contest, or I'm going to be over here at this deal. Can you feed for me tonight? Or can you, I'm leaving early in the morning, 3 hours before we normally feed. Do you mind feeding for me in the morning, Dad? Sure, no problem. So, all right, well, let's go put our beef crate out. No, I don't want to cancel that. I want to save that. It's today the 13th. Yep. All right, I got that saved. This Insta360 I've been using, or we've been using for a little while. It's a really nice camera. A couple of things I like about it is it films forwards and backwards at the same time, and you can also make it where it does YouTube formats or other formats. So you can either film horizontal or vertical. It films them both. You can just change the aspects and the settings when you go to edit. So that's pretty cool. And there's probably just some setting we've got turned on, but the screen goes off and you can't see what's being recorded all the time, and that kind of ain't so big on that. Let's put y'all right here. Can you see over here? There we go. This is a piece of pipe, sorry. But I just top dress this beef trade every day because I feel like I get a little bit better control of what they're getting each day this way. And since my mixer, I don't feed my full ration, my full load out of my mixer every day, this just works better. That's not metered, that's not perfect, it's just eyeballing it, but it works. Right, fellas, y'all ain't complaining, are you? And that's all there is to it. Well, I'm gonna grab my pickup, and we'll be heading to town to get some cubes to go check cows with either this evening or tomorrow after church. And I think I've got all the parts we need except for what's going to deliver today. to work on trucks. I think that's what the majority of today will be, is truck working on. So down and got feed, and when I got home on my way in, I noticed that my steers up front, see, my ewes knocked down a panel and got up into the front pasture where my steers are that are waiting to go into the feedlot. Are you getting out, or are you just jumping? Just one. We'll just feed them right here. They're nearly here. And anyways, those ewes got up there in the front pasture with the steers, which doesn't really bother me, except for one of them had lambs last night, had a set of lambs, and then in the process, those steers are just curious, and they're going to get to playing with them baby lambs, and before you know it, I'm going to have something, you know, a dead lamb or something, on accident, not on purpose. So what I decided to do was, while Fred was home from women's breakfast, I said, well, let's go ahead and move them suckers right quick. She's nice. Be nice to my heifer. Be nice to my heifer.
Get over there.
So anyways, we got the sheep all moved. We moved all of the sheep from over here into this back pasture where I got a bunch of Johnson grasses coming up, and we're going to graze it down. And then we had the 2 ewes that had babies. Fred and I got them moved. I'll show you them on the way out. But my heifers have been very patient and standing still, and they didn't jump over the electric fence. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and feed them right quick. So let's feed these girls. Fred's being a crybaby bud. Come on, girls. Come on, number 97. Come here. Come on. Come on, girls.
Get out of here.
Come on, girls. She's over there trying to be with Fred, trying to be Fred's friend. Come here, girls.
I want to be friends.
Come on. Here comes old 97. She likes them cubes. She'll eat them out of your hand, cause won't you, girl? Yeah. You a big old hog lip. So let's get them girls fed. These girls are consigned to a special sale that's coming up in November. I've got some friends of mine here locally that are putting on a special replacement female sale. So they asked me if I would kind of like officiate it, which basically that just means take the sale order as the heifers come into sale or the females come into sale, tell who brought them, what they are, if they're bred, what they're bred to, if they've got calves, what the calves are. Just kind of talk them up so that, not necessarily talk them up, but just elaborate on what they are so that the buyers have a better, more informed decision to make on what they're buying, so that they know what they're getting. And then I thought, well, since if I'm going to be there helping with that part of it, I might as well have a set of them in there. I actually bought these not knowing I was going to put them in that sale, and I wanted to sell them beforehand, and I actually had an opportunity to sell them this week, but I'd already told those guys that I was going to put them in their sale, so I had to tell that fella I couldn't sell them, you know, that I'd already consigned them. So, but they are to be 7 and 8 months bred by the time that sale hits November 22nd, and hopefully I will have been able to roll them up some money from what I gave for them to where they'll be. It's already kind of gotten, it's not hot, it's 86 degrees, 11:45 in the morning, and we've got all the sheep moved around like I want them. We've got 2 steers up there that kept jumping over the cattle guard, as y'all know, and that aggravates me. Hang on, let me see if I can wipe the dust off this thing. There we go. And what I decided to do was, I was going to put them in the feedlot. Like, you know, if y'all can't stay put, then I'm going to put you in the feedlot and you can just go on and start getting fed out. But then I got to looking at them, and one of them ain't big enough, and I thought, I think what I'll do is I'm going to just move these cattle, because this grass, it's not getting short, but I've been grazing it for a good while now, and it needs a break. And I'm going to put these cattle in there where the sheep have been, and because there's some stuff that the sheep haven't stayed caught up on, and that these cattle, I can get them to eat it. Fred didn't open the right gate. Now she's having a hard time. Maybe she'll open that other gate over there before she gets him hot. Let me call her and see. Oh, he found the gate now. He found the open gate. Maybe. There we go. So instead of putting those cattle in the feedlot, I'm going to go ahead and put them back in here with these steers, and then move them. That way they'll maybe, just maybe, when I put them across this other cattle guard, the other cattle guard I'm going to put them on the other side of is a lot wider than the one they've been staying behind, and maybe this will get us where they're not jumping out and getting on the neighbor. But these suckers are kind of shaded up right here, so they may not want to come right now. But maybe Fred can get behind them and push them. If I can get out and get them to follow me, I'm going to get out and shake a sack of cubes. I fed them a little bit the other day, and they really seem to like it, so let's see. Woo! Come on! Kind of got their attention. Now then, let's go down here and see if we can go through this gate over here in this corner, and then Fred will keep them pushed up from behind, and hopefully we'll have them moved easy peasy. And this might help on my water bill a little bit. We don't have a well here. There was not a well on this place when we bought it, and when I first bought this place, I had, I said, can you give me an estimate on what it would cost to dig a well, to put in a well that had good drinking water to run this house on? And when I did that, the guys told me, I think with everything, with a storage tank and a pump, pressure tank, a pump, and all that kind of stuff, it was going to be in the neighborhood of about $60,000. And I'm like, man, I can buy a lot of city water for $60,000. And I wasn't planning on doing what we're doing now at that time, so it was like, I don't really think it's that big a deal. And then things changed. Now I wish I had one, but I don't. Woo! Come on. See if we can get them right through here. One thing I really like about, there you go, spit it out, dummy. I like about working with Fred is she just does exactly what you tell her to. She don't get no rush or no hurry. She just lets things work the way they ought to work. And then, yeah. So there they are. Easy peasy, moved where I wanted them. Should have got a good count on them right then. I didn't count them. She's going to shut that gate. They're going to go up here and find the tank. So what I was getting back to my story is they ought to drink out of this tank instead of out of that water trough, but you never know. Let's make sure we got everybody. We got 3 behind us. Might go over here and see if I can feed them at this feed bunk. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so we got everybody there where they're supposed to be. Now then, we kind of called them, let's give them a little reward, which I was going to start cubing them anyways, just to give them a little extra protein. Put them out some couple of sacks of cubes right here. Woo! Come on. Come on. Probably, maybe today or tomorrow, I move my good feed bunks over here. These feeders are okay. I made these things 10 years ago. And they're alright, but they're not the best ones. I mean, they do the job, but I like my other ones better. Fred, we need to shut the gate by the water trough. I opened that gate up there hoping that they might just run right up here to me. But they didn't. But they went very easy, guys. I mean, a little bit of get them out, roust them up out of the shade, a little shake of the feed sack, and they come on. I will say this, I mean, no affiliation with them, don't get anything for free, don't have any discount codes, but the cubes that we feed are a 28% DDG, dried distiller's grain cube, and they're made by Livestock Nutrition Center, LNC. They're absolutely great. They're like cocaine to these cattle or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they got in them. I mean, I know what they got in them, but you know what I mean. It's just like these black steers, get them out from under. I mean, they've had those cubes one time yesterday, and I had to push it. It took me 15 minutes to get them pushed to the feed bunk to get them eating on them. But today, just that shake of that sack and they come on. Those heifers up front that we just fed, it took me 2 feedings to get them to where they would come to the Can-Am. You know, now I'm not saying like those heifers that they hadn't been cubing them before and they just took them a minute to get to train to what we were doing. But these cattle I know are not getting cubed, these steers, because I know where they came from, and it just ain't happening that way. So, all right, I'm gonna go check on Fred because she didn't see the way that gate was chained, so she may not have an idea how to shut it back the way I like it. So I'm gonna go make sure she gets it back the way I like it, and then I think now I've got most of the cattle and sheep stuff I wanted to get done, thanks to Fred.